Hey there, Internet! Blue Dooley. Today we're picking up the programming card for the Hobbywing ESC. I got the 1080 quick crawl and thought I'd go over some of the programmable features you can do with this ESC. I haven't had a chance to run it too hard or too much just because of the weather. I don't like running the truck in the mud, but I'll run it in the snow, which I did yesterday a little bit and last weekend. I should mention that the first time I played with it, I forgot to save the settings, so make sure you read the directions all the way through. We'll get into her here. I just got the camera mounted up the way I usually have it on the HPI, so I don't have fancy tripods. I'm using a desk light for a little extra light in the office today. And my desk is a little bit of a mess, so I'm sure everybody's is. Got some tunes going in the background in the RC Sparks forum. So we'll get it situated here, about like so. Actually comes with the cable and the box. Like I said, I think I got mine 40 bucks. All you have to do is plug it in and turn it on. It's that easy. It has 15 excuse me. Move so I can read it a little better here and keep it in the camera. I kept the instructions because I don't want to try to remember 15 different options. But option 1 is running mode. Depending on if you use the speed control for competition, you can actually change how it functions. You can have forward brake, forward reverse brake, and then I have it set at forward reverse. I had it set on option 2, which is forward reverse brake, but there's a little bit of a delay when you go from brake to reverse, and I'm not too worried about tearing up gears, so I just went forward reverse so I can just slam it in whatever gear I want and pull wheelies and flip the truck over, because that's how we want to run. Option 2 is the battery type. You can actually switch between it LiPo and the nickel metal hydride. I have it on nickel metal hydride. 3 is battery cutoff voltage, which I have it disabled because I'm running nickel metal hydride and I don't care if the battery gets completely discharged. You can set it at low, medium, or high, and it'll automatically cut off. It doesn't actually list what the voltages are. And yeah, even on the directions it doesn't say, it just has low, medium, and high. So you'd probably have to play around with that. Alright. Number 4, initial start force, which the directions say it's the initial force when you pull the throttle trigger from neutral position toward non-throttle throttle position. A suitable start force can effectively prevent vehicle from sliding when you apply low throttle amount. Honestly, I really have no idea what that means, so I turned it up high because I want to pull wheelies. The Wheelie King started life as a monster truck. Now it's got the Crawler King wheelbase and crawler tires, so, and I bash. I'm not in the competition. I don't worry about traction control or spinning out. I just all in. 5, which 5, 6, and 7 are all your maximum values. 5 is your max forward, 6 is your max reverse, and 7 is your max brake force. And the values go all the way up to 9, but depending on what it is, 4 is 100%. So I have 100% forward, 100% reverse, and max brake is also 100%. Might actually turn that down a little bit from what I had yesterday. So we'll go, let's set it at 7. We'll try that. Alright. 8 is initial brake force, which the directions say minimum brake force. So, again, it goes from 0% up to 50%. I have it set at 6.25%. I don't know actually what that means, but again, I'm still learning it. I'm just kind of going over what it'll do. 9 is drag brake. I turned it up to 100% drag brake for when I do go crawling. And that might, I think it said, drag brake will consume much power, so apply it cautiously. I haven't had a chance to run it that much, so I don't know how much life I'm losing having it up 100%. And I haven't had it crawling that much, so I don't know how good it works or not. 10 is the drag brake rate. Excuse me, drag brake rate. It is the rate which the drag brake increases from 0 to the preset value when the throttle trigger enters the neutral range. So I have it set a little low. That way when I let off the trigger it doesn't wheelie or stoppy and flip over. Because it does have a good brake on this ESC. It's, you jam it and brake and it just about nose over. 11, now we're getting into the really fancy stuff. 11 is the neutral range. As not all transmitters have the same stability at neutral position. And it is given in milliseconds, which is, I'm guessing, it's 0.05 ms, which to me means milliseconds. I guess that's if your transmitter's a little twitchy, or you wiggle the throttle a little bit. You can kind of open up how much throttle input you need before it actually does something. 12, start mode, or punch, which is basically soft or aggressive. I have it set as aggressive as it'll go, which again, you can adjust it. I think it's mainly for people who race or do a lot of heavy competition, because this will let you tune how much force you get. So if it's, like I have it turned up to 9, so if it's slick and you just go full throttle, it'll just spin the tires. If you turn it down a little bit, you'll get a little more grip. It might not come off the line as hard, but you won't spin out, from what my understanding is. 13 is the PWM drive frequency. And I honestly have no idea what that means. And all the directions say is the acceleration will be more aggressive at the initial stage when the drive frequency is low. A higher drive frequency is smoother, but this will create more heat to the ESC. The factory setting is 4. I left it there. Because again, I don't fully understand it, so I'll just leave it alone for now. 14 is the BEC voltage, which you can actually have, you can switch between 2 voltages. I have it set at 6 volts, or you can turn it up to 7.4 volts. Oops. And then 15 is what's called freewheeling. And for regular vehicles, they recommend disabling the function. With it disabled, your vehicle can have quick acceleration. For a crawler, we suggest enabling it. With it enabled, your crawler can have better linearity during a low speed running and also less heat. The factory setting is disabled. I left it disabled because, again, the chassis is more of a monster truck than a competition crawler. So I might play with it around with it a little at a later date, but it's the middle of winter, so I'm not too terribly worried about heat. As maybe when I get wheeling in July or something. I'll fiddle with it and give you a little bit of an update. But yeah, since I changed value and read the directions, hit OK, and it's saved. Turn it off, unplug it, and you're good to go. So, hopefully that gives you a little more information about the Hobbywing Quick Crawl 1080 ESC. Like I said, I didn't know they got this fancy. I was just looking for a better speed controller for my crawler slash basher slash monster truck slash tormented dog toy. Which she helped me test it the other day a little bit. I didn't run the body on it yesterday. I was just fiddling around with it. So yeah, for the little bit I've used it, I'm really happy with it. I'll play around with it more this year. Like I said, once it's less muddy, I'll get out and get crawling, and a little less snow, because the places I like to go crawling, the couple of trails and stuff, probably the snow just drifts bad enough that this truck just doesn't have the flotation to go over soft snow. So, although at least wheeling in the wintertime, I won't have to worry about running over a snake like I did last year, which I felt really bad for. Thankfully, it slithered off and didn't seem to be too harmed, so that's okay. But I'll get this uploaded here in a bit. I'll throw in some driving videos so it's not completely me just talking and being boring. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Hope it earns a like click from you. I always appreciate it, and Trex always appreciates the likes. I keep hoping that, you know, the dog video will get me viral like everybody else's dog videos, but it's fun. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good weekend. Hey, say hi to the camera. Nope, I'm gonna sniff. What's it with Chewy? You don't need to be so loud. You don't have to be so loud. Snort. Hey, say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. Hey. Pretty puppers. Pretty puppers.
fine.